during the action, it's really important to remain disciplined and powerful and united, and to do that, we ask that everybody agree to these and uphold them throughout the action today. So, I will be personally responsible for any and all actions I take today.
I will be personally responsible for any and all actions I take today.
I will not destroy or damage any property.
I will not destroy or damage any property.
I will not instigate or participate in any actions of violence.
I will not participate or participate in
any actions of violence.
I will treat every person with respect.
I will treat every person with respect.
I will not carry or use any drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
I will not carry or use any drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
I will follow Coast Salish and Indigenous leadership while I participate in this action.
I will follow Indigenous leadership in this action.
But I will.
We got there. Yeah. All right. So something that we've kind of mentioned a little bit here and there already is something called collective accountability, and that's really being aware and owning the space that you take up and how that affects other people. So being in this action, different folks in different bodies who are perceived differently by different people are treated differently because of that. So somebody who may be perceived in a more friendly or kind or more privileged way may not face the same reactions that somebody in a less privileged body. The offense that you would be charged with is breaking an injunction under criminal contempt of court, and it's a little bit of a misnomer because it's not actually a criminal offense code, like a charge under the Criminal Code of Canada. So what we've seen that look like so far is not showing up on a criminal record search, and that data would not be shared with the border. Again, we can't guarantee how that will or won't impact, but that's what we've seen so far. We're working with the Terminal City Legal Collective, which is a really great volunteer-run organization that works to demystify the law and support people through civil disobedience. So we have people who will follow up with you after the action if you are arrested, and we have legal forms for anybody who will be blockading or risking arrest and taking bold action. So in terms of the process of arrest, we'll have the line set up. The police, the arresting officers will come. They will play the injunction through the speaker, which takes about 12 minutes. And then they will give you a short period of time in which you will be free to leave if you do not want to be arrested. From there, they will come back and they may ask you things like, is there anything that we can do to get you to stop breaching the injunction or to not be arrested or to not break the law? They may use more scare tactics, such as telling you that you won't be able to travel and you won't be able to get a job. So if you are going to be stepping away after the injunction is the time to do it, and Kara and Claris will help with that timing for sure. And then at a certain point, if you do remain in the road, the arresting officers will tell you that you are now under arrest. So what we like to do is, along with minimizing communication with the police, we also want to be very clear in the communication that we do use because it can be helpful. So if I'm sitting on the road and Claris tells me that I'm under arrest.
You're under arrest?
Okay. What do you think the cop's reaction is going to be if I stand up really suddenly?
They get freaked out.
Yeah. It's a sudden movement. They don't know what I'm going to do. They don't know what my reaction is going to be or if I'm going to try to run. So that's a situation where we can really make sure that we're de-escalated and work to make sure the cop is de-escalated as much as possible. So does anybody have a suggestion of what I could do if I'm sitting and the arresting officer tells me that I'm under arrest?
Just sit there. Just keep sitting.
Stay seated? Stay seated. Yeah, so that gets a little bit more tricky for sure, because we don't want to run into anything like resisting arrest. We want to be arrested in as good and as low impact a way as possible that won't frustrate the cops.
Could you say that you're going to stand up?
Yeah, absolutely. So that goes back to what I was saying about clear communication. I could say, okay, I'm going to stand up now. And with my hands open, I could stand up. The other thing that you can say is, I will walk with you, so that the cop knows that when you do make a move, it's to walk down to the processing site with the police. And from there, they will take you to the mobile processing site. From what we've seen, it does look like they are setting that up. However, we have had a couple situations, I guess just one, where me, was taken off site to the Burnaby detachment. The reason for that was because I had previously been arrested. So that being said, we did learn from that they can take you to the detachment center for any reason at all, but for the most part, they prefer it to process on site, and they know that it's better for us and them all around. But we do need to make clear that, it is a reality that could happen to be brought to the detachment. So we will have people watching and keeping informed, and hopefully everybody here has come with someone or knows someone else here as well. And if you are taken to the detachment, they can keep you overnight to be brought before the judge when he's available. So that's something that's important for everyone to know. Yeah, so some folks who should talk to us individually before taking bold action or risking arrest are non-Canadian citizens, if you're under 19, and previous offenders of this injunction. The other thing to consider is that the promise to appear, which you will have to sign if you are arrested, and that's a promise to appear in court before the judge so that they can allow you to leave without being brought into the detachment at all or anything like that. Could be anywhere from 1 week to 6 weeks. So if you're planning to be out of town in that time, or you're not going to be able to get back over here for that court date, that's definitely something to consider, and you can check in with us about that for sure. But 1 to 6 weeks is what we can hazard a guess at for the promise to appear, or into October. Just the way that court is playing. Does anyone have any questions? I know that was a lot of information.
Are we planning to, I was just wondering, are we going to all put it once, or are we planning to strip, like, are we stopping actually
like we're at the roads blocked right now. Right? So what we'll do once we're finished the training, we can kind of, if anyone is interested in kind of thinking about risking, like potentially risking arrest today, to step aside and talk to me, so that we can kind of go over. The one thing is that if you are planning or if you, to blockade and stay in the road, we absolutely need you to fill in a legal form. This just means that we'll be able to support you and make sure that we know who you are and what you need as well, provide court support. So what we'll do once we're finished the training is that we can sort of set up in the road here, and anyone who doesn't want to do that, doesn't feel comfortable, we'll be running a support rally just off to the side. And again, I just want to reiterate that all of this stuff is your choice, and I really want to encourage people to just like check in with themselves and make sure that they feel comfortable. Again, we're not telling you to break the law, we're not telling you to risk arrest, we're just trying to give you the tools so that you can make choices with as much information as possible.
Alright, so
Okay, if you don't mind, we say a prayer.
just going to get folks into the support and safe rally, and then from there. Great, thanks so much, Stacey. All right, so anybody who is not going to be in the road blockading and or risking arrest, you can come with me to the other side of the rocks where we'll have the support rally.
And for folks who are thinking about staying and blockading the road, if you can just come over to me, or if you just got here late and just have any questions, I know I saw a couple people come in late, so please come over to me and we can talk those things through. I want to make sure everyone's got all the information, so I'm just going to be right over here.